Bohen is the lead technical trainer at StocksToTrade, one of the leading online training education platforms. And he is often cited by the media as one of the most trusted voices on Wall Street. And he is with us here today. So, Tara, great to have you here. And there has been so much going on this year. Tariffs, volatility, what has that been like to trade that?
Well, specifically from a trading perspective, incredible. You know, I think back to, I was here back in middle of April. It was just post-Liberation Day. Bitcoin was tanking, tech stocks were tanking. There was so much fear. And, you know, from a trading perspective, I told everybody, embrace that fear, buy the dip, etc. You know, names I mentioned, NVIDIA, Palantir back, you know, in April, all pushing all-time highs. Yeah. And Bitcoin, you know, Bitcoin was at 80,000 at that point. You know, we hit 110, it's pulled back a little bit. So what all this uncertainty and tariffs and World War III and all this brings is that volatility that you can capitalize if you know how to trade at the end of the day. That's what we do at StocksToTrade. Right. They just give you those tools to manage your risk and know when to buy and know when to stop out and know when to take profits.
Yeah, you have to be a little bit fearless through this, because I remember thinking, oh, these probably be some good buying opportunities, but it's a little scary. But that's where the technical analysis comes in. It kind of takes some of that emotion out, right?
Yeah, and that's well said, because that's what's great about the technicals, if you follow them, because they'll tell you if you're right or you're wrong. You know, there's that old saying in Wall Street, I can't remember who said it, it's okay to be wrong, just don't stay wrong. And if you can, you know, listen, part of trading is taking losses and managing that. You got to be a risk manager. But by using the technicals, you can respect where you're wrong, cut it, and not stay wrong. You know, where a lot of people get in trouble in these volatile times is they just won't sell no matter what. And then even if they're right, it takes months or years to get back, where they could have cut it, rebuy later, and they would add a profitable trade instead of 6 months of angst.
Yeah. So, are there sectors you're particularly liking right now?
Love tech, particularly particularly military tech. You know, what we do in short-time trading is ride the trends. You know, you look at Palantir, obviously huge in everything in AI and military. We've got the Anduril IPO coming up. I don't know exactly when that's happening, but huge fan of Palmer Luckey. You know, we got that, I can't remember the company's name, but they make the water drones. I mean, there's so much happening in that space, especially around AI. I mean, the modern battlefield is AI. So tech stocks, AI, and particularly military tech.
Yeah, well, interesting, because we're talking, this is day 4 of Israel and Iran. So this is very much relevant for the world that we have right now, is this military technology.
Yeah, again, Palantir, you know, I know people have a kind of a love-hate with that company. I've been a major bolt. But, I mean, at the end of the day, they're in everything, whether it be Face ID detect to, you know, threat detection. You know, they're working on these headsets where you can actually see who's on your team, who's on the other team. So it's the modern battlefield, and there's billions, probably trillions that's going to go into that.
And drones are going to be a really big part of the future of warfare.
Yes.
So how do traders make money during these? We talked a little bit taking the emotion out.
Yes.
Kind of maybe thinking long. How do you advise people?
Well, what I recommend is, you know, using tools that can take the emotion out of that. So we've got trading algorithms for short-term trading. One's called Oracle, one's called Flux. I know a lot of this audience will be interested in a little bit longer term ideas. So we actually have an AI called Iris that does all of the fundamental analysis, looks at the you know, the company's financials, and also does technical analysis for you. So going back earlier, you want to dip by a Palantir or a NASDAQ or some of these stocks, but you don't know where it's highly likely to bounce, and looking for those levels. So what Iris does is actually looks back at years of the chart all the way up to the current chart and gives you buy prices, stop prices, and profit targets. And it also interprets the sector. Like, it would know if they're in military tech, and it would rate that sector. And it actually, thanks to AI, it's reading the headlines, and it knows that that's the big headline, so you can kind of join these trends. So I think that, you know, I've been doing this 20 years. The biggest thing that gets people in trouble is the emotional side of things. You know, no one wants to be wrong. Like, you get in a fight with your husband, you lose the fight, it feels really bad. You don't like it. Trading's kind of the same way, but if you can use an AI and algo and respect it, you can kind of pull back and then just trade those technicals like we
I
talked
just
about
keep an
earlier.
eye on it.
Yeah.
So somebody wants to get started or kind of experiment or find out more, what do they do?
Yep. Best thing to do is go to StocksToTrade.com, all spelled out. So a lot of people want to put a 2 in there.
Okay.
But StocksToTrade.com, we've got a bunch of social media accounts, etc. We post a lot of our technologies. That's the best way to start. Follow along. We got a great YouTube channel. I do videos every week, and you can kind of really get a taste test of the technologies that we have and test them out from there.
Okay, Tim, great to have you here during this volatile, crazy year.
Yeah, no nukes yet.
Yeah.
Glad. Yeah.
Oh gosh, let's hope not. Thanks so much.
Thank you.